Hi, I'm Hashim Muntasir, and thank you for listening to the Lighthouse Conversations. We're on a short break for the new year, and we'll be back in January with brand new episodes. In the meantime, I wanted to share one of our favorite episodes from 2022. This is my conversation with Dubai's TV chef extraordinaire, author, and restaurateur, Mohamad Orfali. I spoke to Orfali about his time at Fatafit and his journey in opening Orfali Bros, now a world recognized and celebrated restaurant. Welcome to the Lighthouse Conversations, a show featuring entrepreneurs and tastemakers from the worlds of art, culture, tech, and of course, food. I'm your host, Hashim Muntasir. I'm joined today by celebrity TV chef, author, and restaurateur Mohamad Orfali. Orfali had his breakthrough in 2011 when he joined Fatafit, the region's first dedicated food channel, which was launched by Lighthouse friend Yusuf El-Deeb. Today, Orfali is the showrunner of the popular restaurant Orfali Bros, which he operates with his brothers Wasim and Omar, both classically trained pastry chefs. They've won multiple awards since opening just a year ago, including ranking number 6 on the inaugural MENA's 50 Best list and appearing in Dubai's inaugural Michelin Guides for the Big Gourmand Award. So I sat down with Orfali to unearth it all, his journey with Fatafit, how he found his food identity, so to speak, and of course, the burning question on everyone's mind. What makes a really good mulukhiya? Because Mohamad, welcome. We're so happy to have you with us today. I am honored to have you on this podcast.
Thank you. Likewise, Wallah, Hashim. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's an honor to be with you.
It is, honestly, it's my honor. You are a friend, but also someone really we are very proud of, as I told you the other night when we came to your lovely restaurant. And I want to start with probably the most important question, which is mulukhiya. I feel we have to start with mulukhiya. Yeah. So yeah, we need to understand. We were joking about mulukhiya and whether you have a mulukhiya dish on your menu, whether you plan to have a mulukhiya dish on your menu, or I'm just going to throw this out there, we can have and do a mulukhiya dish for us.
Why not?
Everybody wants mulukhiya. So before we start the mulukhiya wars, tell us your view on mulukhiya.
Mulukhiya, it's sometimes an acquired taste.
Yes, very much so.
Some people, they're loving it. Some people they really, they hated it. They never even the thing to try mulukhiya. I remember when I was a kid, I really don't like it.
Why not?
Because of the sliminess of the mulukhiya. I really don't feel like, I want to eat mulukhiya. And it's very strong flavors when it's come to the coriander, garlic in it. And I don't understand it as a kid. So one of the challenge was, how I can take the mulukhiya and turn the look how it looks like. Okay. I don't know. I'm always thinking why we eat the mulukhiya with chicken, or sometimes wrap it as
Right.
in Egypt,
Yeah,
or was lamb. Because in Aleppo we make it even sometimes with kebab. With kebab stuff with pine nuts.
Yeah, meat of sorts or chicken.
100%. And then some of them they're making it green, some of them they're making it dried. Lebanon, Syria, they always mulukhiya for us should be should be dried and should be not slimy at all.
Yeah, and ours is a soup.
Yeah, they go to Egyptian side and Palestinian side, it should be green and fresh. And if it's not slimy, is that something wrong with it, as Egyptian? But at the end, there's a tasha, the coriander and the garlic. That's what's make mulukhiya different. So I felt I think garlic coriander go more with fish, more than chicken, more than let's say lamb. And one of my cooking shows, I did something called "Where is the mulukhiya?" When in mulukhiya, because it looks like
it doesn't look like mulukhiya.
Abadan. So
I
I don't mind to put it in Orfali Bros menu. To be honest, it's a delicious recipe. I did two versions where one is more like soup, and it's blended with garlic, coriander, and then I serve it with hamur. Usually we eat it with mainly in Levant with onion and vinegar.
Yes, correct.
So I turned it also as a garnish,
thinly chopped,
100%.
Yeah.
The other one, it was more Scandinavian. Let's say the inspiration when it comes to if I keep the mulukhiya raw, how the taste will be, and it was good. And then I did it like more with like, umami, dashi, mulukhiya. It's more, sophisticated. And both of them, they are delicious. But like, from one ingredient, I did two dishes. They're different than each other's.
And I feel this really speaks to the ethos of what you've done, which I honestly find, and I know many others find remarkable. Number one, when I look at Dubai, to start with, there was not, when we think about Arab food, Middle Eastern ingredients, we think about typically more traditional restaurants, traditional Lebanese mostly, or Lebanese Syrian, etc., etc. And what you just said about the mulukhiya, I think to me summarizes some of your philosophy. You've taken a lot of these ingredients that come from this part of the world, the Levant broadly, call it the Mediterranean, and you are able to turn it into something different and without making it fussy, because fussy
Yeah.
is also not that interesting.
It's messy, like,
It's not fussy, it's messy, it's accessible, but it has a huge amount of sophistication and a huge amount of flavor because of the ingredients.
Yeah.
Was this always your style? Because you were trained classically.
I really don't know.
Okay.
You need memories. I think,
Correct.
most of the chefs, like, they work on, they're telling you this is my style, this is the way I work, but it's all about memories. So when it's come to the mulukhiya, like, the biggest challenge was for me, searching in content, because I used to be a TV chef. So every year I have a show, I have to
come up with new ideas.
100%. And then I start like thinking in different, let's say, perspective. Why I'm taking in these things and turn it to something different.
Mazboot.
That maybe the the way we eat this, let's say, things, is it that correct?
But I want to just stop here. What made you go in that direction? I mean, the easy direction is you can be an excellent. I'm going to push a bit.
So many inspiration.
Yeah, you can be an excellent chef that
Yeah.
does very traditional, beautiful dishes, and people will still love your food. Why did you feel you needed to take something? And as you said, I can see this, and in your work, it's like an artist. The memories matter, and the history matters. And I think, and this is something I want to cover in a little bit, but you were saying on your website as well, one of your blogs, that obviously being Syrian and that heritage of food is very important to you and it's something you want to preserve. And that shows in some of your work. But what makes you want to shake it up?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious.
It's not like in ideas. Some, like I told you, like, it was in searching content. I wanna do something different than others. I don't want to be like, the classic chef.
Yes.
I decide, to do something modern. I did so many mistakes,
Of course, we all did.
and I learned from that mistakes. So first of all, don't play with traditional foods.
Interesting.
So if I call it, this is mulukhiya, where like people, they look at it visually,
This is not mulukhiya.
mulukhiya. So that's why I call it, where's the mulukhiya? So there is no mulukhiya. Where is the mulukhiya? Or where is my mulukhiya?
Yeah. Walk us through that journey from a chef that's working in a hotel. What brought you to Fatafit? How did that jump happen? That's a big jump.
Well, it's a long story when it's come to the Fatafit.
How did it start?
I started like with one email. I sent it to Yusuf Aldib,
Who's a friend of the show and a friend of the Lighthouse.
one
friend
of
mine.
the master, the mentor as well for me. Like when it's come to to be a TV chef.
And
So,
where did he find you?
It was, I don't like, it's Fatafit. It was in 2006. They start like promote the channel, and I felt like, what, I love that channel.
So you applied.
It started like, I'm a good researcher. I love to to do my research.
I can see that.
So I did that, and then I found one Kuwaiti blogger. She said like, there is a channel that's gonna happen soon. It's called Fatafit. It's something like Food Network in US, and the only cooking channel in Middle East. And it was something like, for me, wow! Finally, we have something like that gonna be in Arabic. So I researched. I find an email. I took that email. I, write down, "Hi, my name is Mohamad Orfali. I'm from Aleppo, and I used to work with a Shia group, and I would love to do
You were in Kuwait at the time?
in the Kuwait,
Yeah.
and then I would love to do my cooking show, and that's it.
Wow. You got the
7
reply
days,
back?
yeah, 7 days later on, and then I found like email from Yusuf Aldib, say like, "Oh, let's meet on." I'm going to be in Kuwait. I don't remember the date, but let's do like let's meet there. And then the first time I met Yusuf, and he looked at me. So what do you do? So I'm a chef. He looks like, yeah, I know. You wear a chef jacket, and you came for I was wearing chef jacket in that interview. And then he looked at me like, I don't know if you are good on camera or not, but sounds you are a chef, not a TV chef. And then he told me like, okay, write down your idea. I'm going to have another interview with other chef, and then we'll back to you.
What did you think Yusuf saw in you? Out from your perspective.
I was I was young in that time, and it felt like, Yusuf love, the guys who have talent, or like people who like want to do something.
Yeah. No, you have the enthusiasm, but not everybody makes a shift from, because to your point, I mean,
Yeah.
TV chef, it's entertainment.
It took from me 5 years to join them.
It took 5 years.
Absolutely.
Mm.
He back to me and then say like, he introduced me to the team. Guys, this is the first chef we're gonna sign with us, and Muhammad will be, in Dubai soon. And then I was like surprised and shocked what he's talking about.
Amazing.
He told me like he looks like a chef. He looks like not the guy on TV. And then he second after half an hour he told me like, oh, congratulations, let's sign the contract.
Now, you might remember that when I spoke to Fatafeet founder Yusuf Adib, he talked about his mission to cultivate regional food talent under Fatafeet. That mission led him to meet Orfali in Kuwait.
We had to have relevance. We didn't
Yes.
be like Food Network.
So Arab chefs.
So we launched
Or
Arab
personality.
chefs, many, like about a dozen, let's say.
And how did you go about to find them?
Your guess is as good as mine. Sometimes it was just an email that we got. Like Mohamad Orfali was working as a chef in Kuwait. And one of my trips to Kuwait, I met him in the lobby of the Crown Plaza and
And you were like, sure, send me something.
let me see, let's do a test. And, he flew in, I tell him on camera, and he expected like some big test. And I said, can you make an omelet? Because it wasn't about the food.
It's about the personality.
People don't watch the food, they watch the personality.
They put the camera in his hand and say like, okay, yalla, cook. So like, what are they gonna cook? With no studio, nothing. It just was in a green room. And they start like, just talk. I want to see you like on the camera. And then like I start like, hi, how are you? My name is Mohamad Orfali. I'm gonna cook for you ajje today. and like, yeah, perfect. Sign the contract. They like, sign the contract. What? Like, is that true? Like, I wasn't at the time. I don't understand even like, is that gonna happen or not?
Akid.
So I was a bit picky. And the good things, I didn't start it with them immediately. It took from me 4 years, 4 to 5 years to join Fatafeet.
What was the hesitation during that time? Yani, why didn't you join
I felt like I'm not ready to be on the camera.
Okay, so you knew yourself. You needed to prepare more.
I don't want to be, again, other chef on TV.
You wanted to be the chef on TV.
Yeah, and talking about, always, this is food, this is the way we're making it healthy, it's easy, it's light. And I feel like, I want people like talk about more about food. Let's make it more messy. Like, and you tell me about like how I eat this one like in a good way. I don't want to look like to the chef on the camera tell me how to make the food healthy and light.
What's very interesting is hardcore chefs would typically TV to me is entertainment at the end of the day,
100%.
right? So for you to be able to straddle these two, and we're going to go back eventually starting your own restaurant, that's not very easy because
100%.
I would imagine your average chef today that's very well known on television is not necessarily the same chef you want to open a restaurant.
That's true.
They learn to just be very theatrical, which is what's required on TV.
I told you, I was not much ready to be on TV. I don't have much information. And then I felt like I have to study more about who I am. And even in that moment, I don't know who I am. My food identity wasn't that clear.
Yes, that's very interesting.
And then the TV take me back to Aleppo. Because Yusuf is insist to be like, you have to make your show. You have to make your show.
Yeah.
And I was like scared, like what do I have to do?
Start going back to your roots.
100%. So I start like research, do more research about my roots. Because in that time I was doing Halabi restaurant, was a shaya. And then Yusuf, he thought like, you're so proud about your cuisine. And I think your show should be Ana Halabi.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I am from
Ana
Aleppo.
Halabi started, yeah.
Anyway, emails goes vice versa with Fatafeet and Yusuf, and I felt like I don't want to do it. And then he was super angry from me, like why? Like you don't want to be a famous Fatafeet. So the time where like I was really confused. I don't know what I'm gonna do, what I have to do, where I go, because my plan was to go to work with Michelin star chef or go to France to continue.
Thank God you didn't.
I did.
Ah, you did?
I did. I come back.
Thank God you came back.
Self-taught chef it's more stronger than you go to culinary school.
Mm.
Culinary schools are important. You need the basic, you need the fundamental. But once you're done from there, what are you gonna do? You need, more food and chef and inspiration and memories and so many things, like, to build yourself. And then Yusuf decide, like, you know what? Let's do your cookbook first. Let's do Ana Halabi. And I felt like, okay, that's cool. And he told me, like, your book will be the first show on TV. So make your book first, and then we'll start with your cooking show. And when we did it, 2009, I cooked my cookbook in his house, and we shoot it there. And then every day, like, oh my God, look at that food, man! You should make it your own show. Done.
It's very interesting. He had very good commercial instincts, huh?
Yeah. And then 2011, Yusuf came to me and listen, take it or leave it.
And you took it.
Yeah, join us as, like, executive chef of the channel. We want someone with your experience to manage the operation of the studio. We're like, we have kitchens, we have so many kitchens, we have a team, but we need a chef background to, like, to organize these things. And we have magazine, we have so many things to work with, like, to work on, and join us.
How was that experience?
It was, for me, like disaster the first time.
Kid, it's very different.
Like, very different experience.
You're managing
like,
people really more than anything else, yeah.
Well, like, no, but the different background. Like, I'm a chef where, like, I used to, like,
be in your kitchen and do your
be
food.
my-
People
and then, yeah.
messy and studio and production and
So the time I joined them in 2011, the first show, it was, I remember that, and the first episode was on the 3rd of July, 2011. So people loved that show, and Halabi, I hated because I felt like
it boxed you in.
It was like, like the first experience for me. I was like really shy. I don't know what to want to do. Like that, they told me, like, you should not watch your shows until it's, we complete the shoot to the end. You need to watch anything.
Yeah, it's like actors with their movies. I mean,
100%. So I did that, and I promised them, like, I'm not going to watch myself until, like, we finish. And then the first time I saw my face in the camera, I started laughing in myself. What I'm doing? Is that me? Is that right? What I'm doing?
Yeah.
But people loving it.
They love it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then from there now we have 15 cooking shows.
I was going to say,
yeah.
And are you still involved with them?
Absolutely, yeah.
You still are.
Yeah.
And now that you have your own restaurant, I mean, how do you manage?
Just like when I started with Fatafit as executive chef, from like restaurant background to media business, it was like, oh my God, they don't even, like, working in the office. I was like very confusion for me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but we did, great job. We work hard, on so many things, and I used to work like, 12, 14 hours, 16 hours sometimes per day.
To a lot of people, that has been their first introduction to Arabic food, Arab chefs. I mean, a lot of people, they were really not, we didn't have these glossy cookbooks that you have in the US and in Europe.
100%.
We didn't have, but this was an accessible way to understand.
Even the shows.
But that's what I mean.
And Yusuf have, like, have the Yusuf, Dareen there, they have the vision where we don't want to use gloves, and is an example.
Yeah.
Where, like, we're cooking for hours. So, like, you have to be, like, real.
Yeah.
And then most of the cooking shows in Arab world, like, you see the chef wearing gloves and hairnet. I don't know why. I feel like if you cook for yourself at home, you wear that.
Don't wear any of the stuff.
Absolutely. So, like, let's make it, like, more homey, more easy, more, like, more real. And it was. And it was for me, like, it changed my life.
When we come back, I talked to Orfali about his evolution from TV chef to restaurateur and how his Syrian heritage and Turkish roots continue to inspire him. That's right after the short break. Welcome back. I'm Hasham Montasser, and you're listening to the Lighthouse Conversations with our guest, Mohamad Orfali. When I was doing my research, I can see very clear evolution and confidence rising, which is normal as you're getting more mature. But you did it literally in front of the cameras. What did you learn from that period, in your view? I mean, did it give you more confidence? Because when you're doing this live on a stage, it's very different than your chef that is cooking in a kitchen. So what did that teach you about yourself and about your evolution in terms of being a chef?
Look, working in the front of the camera, it's an easy and at the same time it's not. مطبخ المعاصر, the modernist cuisine in 2014 took from me 1 year research. 1 year research. And experiment and trial and errors and trials. Like, so many things happen, because I want to do the Arabic modern way. And then I did so many, experiment on Fatafid. So Fatafid give me like, the opportunity to do that. And, I told you, I did so many mistakes.
Akid. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, did that give you the confidence to then start with your brothers, your own restaurant? The fact that you felt at that point you had created a formula, for modern Middle Eastern food, if you will, or modern Arabic food, because it's a very unusual formula.
For me, our Orfali process is not modern that much. We're still like,
I think it's definitely a modern take on a lot of dishes.
So many things, yeah. But this is the way, I'll tell you something. We started from Orfali Bros master classes when I bring my brothers here, when they start like, think it was a dream to be honest, to be together. And the first things, it was very difficult to work with the brothers as well, because
three brothers,
and different, everyone have different perspective,
and different specialization, right?
They are both of them into pastries.
They're pastry, and you do everything else.
And we never worked together.
Yeah.
Until 2015, it's like I came up with something. So like, let's do something together. Let's do a master classes. Let's like, it's not going to be cost us that much.
Are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
Okay, that helps.
And then, but we're gonna start it right. So I told him, like, before we start, to promote about our master classes, we should film videos, we should making things, we have to make, like a small booklet where like the student who will come to our master classes will get like a nice small book about, the recipe, the pictures and everything. I was thinking like, the media background where with like,
what
And then the time we start filming the stuff and the recipe is like big fight. Between me and my brothers, because they are chefs. And Wasim is like very picky, and then he want to do things like, بكلها يعني لازم تبقى.
He's picky and you're stubborn.
Like I mean like we have, we book the studio, we 4 days doing things, and then we have no content. There is no content, and how we can promote it, because
it's like a band coming together.
100%. And then you start like, you have to listen to me. You have to focus, and let's do it one by one.
We slowly started
100%. So the first one, it was a bit difficult. Like, even like who's gonna talk, who's gonna stop, who's gonna do that. So we did it, and then we learned from that a lot. The first masterclass was really good, and people loving it, and I felt like this is gonna be something. So the second, the third. And we continue more and more, and then everyone asking us, why you don't have
your own restaurant,
or the pastry boutique? And I would love to go and have coffee and your dessert or something. And so I started thinking about like, why not taking this to restaurant?
What year did this idea come to mind?
2017, 18, or something like that. And we decided to make it bistro. So we're like, we have coffee and dessert, and at the same time we have food. For us, it's like Orfali Bros a modern. I don't want to see it Middle Eastern concept. I don't see it Middle Eastern concept.
It's not a Middle Eastern concept.
Yeah, people like, okay, it's like he taking Syrian food with a twist, which is not.
No, it's not Syrian twist, but as you know, people want to categorize, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people, it makes it easier for them.
And this is like the biggest problem for us.
Yeah, they want to go to the Japanese restaurant. They want to go to the...
100%.
And you guys fit enough for it to become Arab modern.
The chef, no, it's a chef-driven concept.
100%. But you're doing what you like.
Yeah, and then we serve the food that we love to eat. Of course, we have to show people our root. Who we are, at least with a few dishes, and that's what we did.
Also, because you have now a history, and a documented history on television and so on. So I think people also took that into it. There was already a history with your book, your shows, etc.
Yep.
That I think when you did the restaurant, people think of it as a continuation. I look at it as all of that history was a platform to do something different. But كمان your restaurant is new. It takes a bit of time for...
With the name of the restaurant as well.
مظبوط.
When the people think Orfali, they think about kebab Orfali. Exactly. Or like, it should be like Turkish Arabic or like Syrian.
Why did you decide to call it that, knowing I'm sure that this would happen. I mean, to your point, and talk us a little bit about how these names happen, like a name like Kebab Orfali, because I don't think people understand the history
Yeah.
behind some of those names.
Our name, originally we are from Urfa, a city where like belong to Turkey right now, where before it belonged to Syria. Our family bit famous, and then after the Facebook happened, I find like we are a big family where like there is Orfali in Iraq, Orfali in Lebanon, Orfali in Syria, Orfali in Turkey, Orfali in Egypt, Orfali in Argentina, Orfali, I don't know, like it's big,
lots of
like really like a big family. So the names come from Urfa. An artistic name, I don't know, is Orfali. It has nice sounds. People, they think
it has a beautiful sound.
Italian.
But my point is, as you have said, and you say it on your website as well, is that a lot of dishes are named by yani Orfali kebab, مثلا. So this is something. It's a association that people have. It gives you that. To your point, I mean, Middle Eastern or Syrian. It's hard for you to see the name Orfali and not think of that. Maybe for some people, that's what I'm trying to say.
For Turkish, there are a bit confusion because Orfali with U, not with O.
I see.
So they don't see it that much Turkish. The Lebanese Syrian, they see it like, kebab Orfali. And both of us, we know nothing about kebab Orfali. Really? They will ask me like, what is kebab Orfali? Just like meat and salt. Like the kebab Halabi as well. Like, what is kebab Halabi? It's just meat and salt.
Yeah. Simplify.
Yeah.
I love it.
So Orfali is the sound is like musical a little bit. And we call it bros because like the brothers. And we still, so many people asking us until now, what type of cuisine you are.
How do you describe it?
You are chef-driven concept, modern. We represent Dubai. We have food for everyone. And to be honest, if you put yourself in one cuisine category, you will limit yourself. In our Bros, we have no limitation. If I want to do mulukhiya, I can do mulukhiya. If I want to do Japanese things, I can do Japanese things.
And
and the new menu, and the new menu is coming soon. There is so many things from Spanish, Peruvian, and Korean.
But even the current menu. Yeah. And I was there last week, and it's really from all over. You're taking different concepts.
We're making it as much we can Orfali. So whatever we serve in Orfali Bros, only in Orfali Bros.
There's so many directions I can see this brand in. It's a new brand, but mashallah, it's already built a great name and reputation. And to me, what I loved about it from day one, it sits on a solid foundation. It really does. That's what matters. So to me, and I was telling you, I don't see necessarily it has to be any. It could be Orfali Bros 15 locations, but it could also go in different directions because you have a media background, you have a very creative background. You guys do different things as brothers. How do you envisage this if I would ask you to dream? If I gave you a blank check today?
Let me take day off first and then we'll talk about since we opened it, didn't take one day off.
La, I believe it. You have fatafit, and then I see you every night, every time I'm there. And all my friends, when they're there, you're there.
The only 7 days I took, it was like I had COVID and I stay at home. But it wasn't that really good to think about something else. We're busy, like, we're getting busy more and more, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. Really, I'm thinking about myself, what I can do for the future.
Yeah.
I don't think Orfali Bros will be 2 and 3 or somewhere else. We think Orfali Bros will be one and only. If I want to do something else, it will be different concept, different name.
Is it because you don't want to? I think with you, one of the things, and I'm sure your brothers as well, it's the creativity and wanting to change. Yani, مثلا, you told me you've changed the menu 3 times already since you opened.
Yes. And number 4 is coming soon.
Yeah, you told me this is very unusual. Yani, people don't, and it's not because it's not working.
Not completely, but we, because the first time, I did it like completely, but people get angry from us because he bring his mom, his wife, his girlfriend to try something, and then it's not in the menu.
I came when you first opened, and I came last week, and there was 20-30% the same, but a lot of new dishes
100%.
and a lot of things that were removed. You think because of maybe your TV experience, you feel the need to constantly create, or is it what drives this constant change?
Sometimes, like regular customers, like if you've been there like for 5, 6, 7, 8 times, You need something new.
But to make specials.
Was my small kitchen, a small restaurant,
hard.
it's really hard to do that. Really, really hard.
I think you also like to create things.
Yeah,
all
I
the
want to.
time.
I will tell you something. This is our minimum. What we're doing in our fibros, this is my minimum. The limitation that we have in that concept, the space. And we try to do, to be smart. I try to be, to minimize my wastage. I have zero waste, almost zero waste. I manipulate the ingredients in different technique, different things to like to have like one ingredient.
Use everything.
100%. And then I have like only 2 single fryers, 1 single grill,
Yeah, I see it.
4 gas burner, and my pizza oven is like only for 1 day. What I can do in that concept. And then we serve in the same time, sometimes 30 to 40 people.
But that probably gave you a certain discipline as well.
100%.
Right? I remember our first kitchen here, sorry about that, was a tiny kitchen. And I have to say, I was very proud of our chefs because they made it work. And it's challenging. It remains challenging until today. But it gave a certain discipline that I think if we had told them here, you have everything, it's harder to do. I'm sure you would love to have a bigger kitchen next time or in a different concept.
Absolutely. By the way, my kitchen bigger than my dining room.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I think the first kitchen in Dubai were like my kitchen bigger than dining room, but still small.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. For the next concept will be bigger kitchen. It's more bigger kitchen like give you like, storage time, everything is not about kitchen. Storage, kitchen,
efficiency,
space, and
production.
you can do different things. If you have, imagine like if I have charcoal grill and or fibros, we'll do so many things, but I can't do it right now.
Talk to me a little bit about what you said earlier about marrying your menu with your desserts. Desserts in Dubai is a tricky concept because I think there's a certain understanding of what people like.
100%.
And at least my experience has been it can be challenging. And you come
not only the dessert, the food as well, the menu, like
the food as well. Akid. Everything is challenging. Yeah. But I want to zoom in desserts because it's a specialty, obviously, that you guys have, and your brothers are classically trained in terms of their desserts. How have you managed to work out this challenge? Of people wanting more kind of simple things, if you want to call them that, in some ways, the simple pies, etc. And then you're doing something a bit more sophisticated, let's call it. It goes over people's heads.
We try as much we can to not have the same thing, the same cliche, let's say, that you find it in everywhere in Dubai. And then we try to match also what people do want. And then we know now, like the pistachio one, the taste of Aleppo, this everyone loving it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Very rare to find someone they say like, oh, it's not my style.
The chocolate one was great as well.
Chocolate one, everything, even the food. Imagine like 160 nationalities or more.
Yeah.
Where like they can come and dine in your restaurant.
Like your famous burger, I don't think it was on the menu when you first started.
Wasn't like the burger was like a bit challenging for me. Like
and it's become now.
I really don't want to serve burger in the restaurant.
Sure, you didn't. Most chefs don't.
From my heart, I want to stop doing burger, but
your customer wants it. But I think they might come after you today if you try to take the burger away.
The corn avocado salad, the mexicana, and the cheeseburger saved my business.
It's incredible, huh?
Yeah, this is the reality.
But I love that about you. Yani, there is a pragmatism. Yani, other chefs, frankly, because you called yourself stubborn, and I disagree. Because another chef would say,
I'm not stubborn. When it's come to the business and certain things, I'm stubborn in my ideas.
But if you were really
stubborn, I'm flexible. When it's come
if you were not flexible, you could say, you know what? I don't care what they want. I don't want to do a burger. I'm not going to do it. But if that's what they want, you will add it to the menu because it sells.
It's a business,
it's a business at the end of the day. And you constantly have to find this balance.
And I think it's burger bring everyone on the table. Because the menu, the naming of the items in the menu, bit some of them not familiar. So they go to the burger because they know that it's gonna be familiar. Let's have a burger. It's easy. And we try as much we can, there are so many things on the menu that it has weird name, like guess what? And no one ordered it. Unless you go to the table till I'm like, you have to try this. It's good. It's amazing. Please give it a try and then let me know how it's going to be. And some people, even I reached to the point, if you don't like it, guys, don't pay. Just try it.
But your staff does an amazing job, by the way, by explaining. Yeah. And it's challenging because, as you said, you have things on the menu that it's not obvious. It's not like cheeseburger. Yeah. And it needs explanation. It needs context. And they really do a great job, in my view, putting together that context so that if you are curious, like someone like you, like me, I want to try new things. I'm coming to, the burger is fantastic, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But so no, I'm coming because I know how talented you are and I want to, but if they don't give me the context, the storytelling element is very important and you do it really well.
This is like what our fibros. We tell story.
Yeah.
We get let people to get inspired, and we get inspired of them from others. And I don't want to just serve the food on the table. Go eat. No, we tell you how that works, because when you say one example, Imam Bayaldi, the Imam vein, like that's the famous, almost like national Turkish dish.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Imam Bayaldi. But I like the way we plated or like presented as Imam Bayaldi, but it's not Imam Bayaldi. So I have to tell you the story, how that's come from, where how we did it.
Fantastic. You told us.
100%. Yeah. So and then I'm gonna turn it to Orfali Bayaldi because because it's delicious and I fall down because with the first bite. We make it more personal.
Yeah.
Our food has personality. That's why I have to be there.
That was going to be my question, because you had said earlier that you think, you never know, but you think it'll be one Orfali Bros. And I was going to ask you, if you are not there, do you think it would work the same way or not? If Hashem comes in, I don't know the owners, I don't know the Orfali brothers, I don't know. I just went to a restaurant that I heard is really good. And you have your team, let's say a manager. Would you think it would, or do you feel that you have to be there yourself?
In the beginning, yes. Now I have the confidence to say the team
Can take on.
Of course,
That's great. That's
of
a great testament.
And I don't know if
to
you
your
realize
success.
that or not. We are all wearing the same things. So you don't know who's the manager, who's the waiter, who's the bather, who's the chef. They are all
Yes.
same.
Yes.
And that's what makes my concept different. Like sometimes the manager goes to your table and you think like he's like one of the waiters. He's not. He's the manager. And they are very well trained. And then every day we spend hours like how to tell story. And then now the time that the guys ask me like, what if like one of the table like they are regular customers and they have been there more than 3-4 times. We have to tell them your story.
Why is storytelling so important? Is it because food is emotional?
Absolutely. It's make it different. Like imagine like I serve you something, nothing about it, and it looks like something different, and then you eat it, it's confusing you. So like for us, fusion is very confusion. This is like the biggest challenge for us to tell people we are not fusion.
Yes.
They still think like Orfali Bros, a modern
Arab fusion
was a twist, which is not.
The word twist is annoying,
it's very personal.
I think of it. I collect art, and I collect Arab art and contemporary modern art mostly. And it reminded me the first time of some of the artists that I love, who, and there's many, but I'll mention a few, Akram Za'atari and Hassan Harb and others. And they took, many of them work with archival images. They take them, they manipulate them, they appropriate them, and they change them into a piece of art that's theirs.
Yeah.
I felt very much the same feeling, honestly, at your restaurant. You took the ingredients, you took, in some cases, maybe an existing dish or not. You took it, you appropriated it, you molded it into your own view and created something that's more than 1 + 1 = 2. Very powerful. Honestly, very, very powerful.
100%. We not reinvent the wheel.
I think you're creating your own language.
I like Japanese way when they took things and they perfected it a little bit. So like the H one, the spicy burgle tabbouleh, the one we eat it with the leaves. It's I don't know how long this recipe I think belonged to Assyrian culture. We're talking about 600 years old, and then Turkish they have it, Syrian we have it, Armenian we have it, and how I can bring them all together and we make food no more war. But also I work on the textures. I was like and the intensity of the chilies there, and then how I can add more umami in it. So my food and all our desserts, we're talking about layers and textures and seasoning, and that's what make it different.
Do you care about the fact that some of these ingredients are precious ingredients? Many of them come from places, including Syria, that may no longer be able to produce them. I mean, this came up when we went to see you for dinner. We're talking about pistachio and others. Is there maybe a subconscious element of preserving things that you feel may no longer be here. I mean, a lot of these places, Syria, Lebanon, we can name many, unfortunately, this part of the world, that are now at war and conflict. And I remember thinking, this may not be, you were talking yourself about how difficult it is today in the supply chain to get some of these crops. Is that something that matters to you?
Of course.
Or would you just easily replace Syrian pistachio for another country?
I can go more closer. Like if not available, I go to the Turkish one because it's the closest one to us. And then for us, as restaurants should be consistent. And this is like what is important, because every time you have to come back and then eat the same things. So if we don't find the pistachio from Aleppo, we can get it from Antab, the Turkish one. Sometimes I use alternative things from Turkey, where like they are very close to Halab, exactly for Halab. I'm talking about the cities where like very close to us, which is Antab, Urfa, Marash. This is where like we can get nice ingredients almost very close to Halab.
Does it bother you that in Halab today or in Aleppo you are having this issue of not being able to produce?
Absolutely. And I would love to our dream to back to Syria and do our academy there, where like you can find everything. The landscape has so many things to offer, to be honest.
4 seasons, richness of soil.
Yeah, if you tell me like what is your dream, I will back to Syria one day, and I open my culinary school there and Orfali Bros Academy. It's not just about working or like preparing a new generation of chefs. No, it's about sustainability, back again to the roots, back again to like where the ingredients came from. And this is it's very important things. So many chefs in this world, they think about technique and how he can make my food different textures and so much sophisticated things, but they forget where the ingredients came from.
Why don't we open the Orfali Bros Academy here and bring young Syrians and Lebanese and Egyptians and others and teach them? I mean, I'm saying this as an interim step.
Yeah, why not? We did it. As Orfali Bros business, we started as master classes and academy.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly one way of it.
Why not? I would love to.
Just to show what is out there, show these people also there's possibilities.
Absolutely. And then Dubai, I don't know if you noticed that. Back to, old days where like we have, the good thing about Dubai, you find everything. Yeah. The supply chain here is like one of very solid,
very strong. Yeah.
If you need something from Japan, I remember like when I did a pop-up with Tare, I ordered my sea urchin. Second days, like it's 2 days production. We can find that. But the same things, the local produce.
Yes,
is getting better. I use listen, my ingredients sourced from Dubai.
You're able to find
100%.
Interesting.
I pay more,
but you're getting the quality you want.
The organic cucumber, 30 dirham per kg.
Wow. But
I'm happy because I find it like it's more delicious and
sustainable.
100%. And then the second thing is support the farms. Then the same time where my ingredients has some energy, because we believe food there is energy in ingredients. So when it's like the ingredients travel more than 100 miles, it loses that energy.
Is energy different than nafas?
Nafas is a big word, like New York
it's a very big word.
Nafas,
that's a whole different podcast that we should do.
No, boss.
But I'm interested to hear your view on that.
Of course, boss.
We all believe in nafas, right?
Nafas means for me one thing's energy. Where like imagine like your mom cooking for you just to feed the kids. Where like she just like it's a job. Where like she's more than happy. Where like the other mom were like very happy, very curious to make it like more delicious, and she eat half of the of that meal until like the kids try it, because she season it, she work on it, so it's energy.
My mom was definitely the first one, by the way. She definitely was just feeding the kids.
Yeah. So but I think like if she different, like when, from mom to other mom, where she's like come back from the work, she's she spent whole day and then just want to feed also.
And you feel that translates into your restaurant.
100%. So energy is important because you add more energy, more effort, and then for me, nafas is about seasoning.
Interesting.
There is so many moms, they know how to cook, and at the same time she match flavors and ingredients together and make her food delicious. But seasoning is which is the most important things. What does mean seasoning? She try half of the, she eat half of the meal before, like, serve it to her kids or to her guest, where like she balance everything, the sweetness, the sourness, the salt, the umami, like, like this is nafas for me. So that's why when I cook in the restaurant, I don't eat because I keep trying everything. And I keep like eating from morning until evening, one bite from here, one spoon from there, one thing from there, and then I feel like, Mom, I eat so many things. But this is nafas. So energy, lot of efforts, and seasoning.
I think that's the best definition I've heard of nafas. I'm going to stop here. I don't think we can top that. Mohamad, we wish you the best of luck. You and your brothers, congratulations. Honestly, we're very proud of what you've done. Inshallah, a lot more to come.
Thank you.
And next time when we get together, it will be in your academy.
Wallah, I really want to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. And I would love to support it.
The most challenging things for me, from where I can, 1994, when I started my culinary school, was different than now. The words change. Like I was really suffering and then struggling to find content, to find information. There is no internet. There is no social media. There is no cookbook. I don't speak English in that time.
And I think that level of excellence needs to be preserved, which is why, to me, in academy, it does two things. Wahed, you set this bar high, which you already have. Two, you give possibility to a lot of people that don't have this possibility today.
And one more thing, where like most of the culinary school, they teach you a French curriculum.
Correct.
And they forget,
everything else.
The mother cuisine, my cuisine.
Yes.
So why have to learn French cooking? And I know nothing about Halabi cuisine, an example.
100%. I agree 100%. And that's what is needed here.
100%. Because like food is identity and personality. And then if you know memories
history,
and everything, yeah, of course. And I would love to. That's why I'm telling you, like, if you wanna back to to Syria, we'll do our academy there just to tell people like what we have. An incredible history, but no one knows about them.
I agree.
They become like hidden gem, or like
we don't want it to be hidden gem. I mean, it needs to be out there.
Yeah.
Now it's on the record, so we're gonna have to do it.
Awesome.
Inshallah. Thank you, Mohamad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the Lighthouse Conversations with me, Hasham Montasser. We're produced by Chirag Desai, and our content director is Farah Al-Sharif. If you've enjoyed this episode, please follow us on your favorite podcast player so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. Also, feel free to browse our extensive collection of previous episodes, which you can find on any of your podcast players, including Apple, Anghami, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. You can find us on Instagram at @thelighthouse_AE, or send us an email at connect@thelighthouse.ae. And please share a link with your friends if you've enjoyed this episode.